Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 1049. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
Happy New Year. We're recording this literally on New Year's Day. So that'll be old. You'll be tired of people saying Happy New Year to you by the time this episode comes out. But it's also like the first time in almost 2 weeks that we've recorded, because last Sunday's episode was our Blake 7 commentary for Gambit, and we did that actually before our review of the War Between the Land and Sea, but which we can't talk about because, of course, it's not coming out on Disney Plus yet. So
not until 2027, maybe.
2027 on Disney Plus. It won't come out on for sure. I mean, we talked about this because they had the little press release of what's coming on Disney Plus in January. And they actually dropped a video of it today. You know what? Let's see if it's a late ad edition. No, it's not. So it's coming out in January. So
can you imagine if it didn't come out till after the Christmas special? So they just kept stretching out the ownership of the rights somehow. Like, I'm not even sure how legally they could do that. But
I don't know. I'm curious. I mean, we all know that the deal's over. So listen, I have to keep checking like randomly, honestly, because I just feel like the release won't be as promoted as well.
It'll be a midnight special, I think.
No, not the midnight special, of course.
No, a midnight special. It just kind of slides on in there.
Yeah. Just keep checking Disney Plus every day, because it just might show up there and they won't even talk about it. Who knows? But
come on, Disney, you can be heroes for just one day.
Yeah,
which is what they'll release all 5 on just one day.
Now that it's January, at least we have the season 13 Blu-rays to look forward to later this month.
Yeah, we do. And then is that it? Are we caught up? No, we got season 21 coming after that, but we don't have a release date here in North America yet. So that's yet to come. What else is yet to come this year? The episode, the RTD's finale in about 51 weeks from now is the only new episode coming. Yay, that'll be fun.
Big finish. Have much more later.
Lots of big finish. Probably lots. Like I imagine we might ramp up with, commentaries are easy stuff to fill for this podcast. But you know what? Sometimes it's just fun to sit down and watch some old Doctor Who, which is which is what we like to do. So yeah, there'll be some more commentaries. Don't worry, we've got stories for years on this podcast.
I've got this great idea for a dog that just sits on top of the TARDIS for most of the run.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind.
And a handful of people in Miniscopes.
Hey,
Stephen.
That's Chris's segue, baby. Nick Hurran in the Miniscope today. Our first part is today with the Girl Who Waited and the Gong Complex. The God.
These are the least of the bunch, and they're still pretty damn good.
Oh boy, let me tell you, it's we recorded this. What you say, Chris? August,
late
September?
August, early September. August for what's going out today.
Yeah, so Patreon supporters got these probably close in late summer last year.
Yeah.
But boy, howdy. Dipping back into the Matt Smith era.
Yep.
I ain't gonna argue.
It was
my favorite Doctor of the modern era.
He really was.
It was wondrous. As we said more than once at the time, like none of us had really revisited Smith much of late. Mm-hmm. And I say of late, meaning last several years, and man, that was a breath of fresh air.
It really was.
Nothing against R2D2, nothing against Shrudigatwa, nothing against Whittaker, 14th Doctor, whatever. But
the Whittaker visit was a breath of fresh air too, honestly.
Yeah, it was during the Jamie Megastone.
And at some point, R2D2 might be too. Who knows? Bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. Time changes.
We've got to see BBs. Then we'll be like, oh, the R2D2 era was so good.
I know. I tell you, I mean, I am so J.R. Southall of Strangers in Space podcast shared with me a random clip, a random episode of the Adventures of Paddington show, it's like 11 minutes long. It's Paddington Bear. It's voiced by Ben Whishaw, who did the voice of the little bear in the movies. And but it's produced by the Blue Zoo Animation, the same folks who have now got the license to make CBeebies Doctor Who, just to get an indication of what kind of stuff they have. And I think the Paddington show is like pitched a little higher than the preschool audience, but maybe not too much because it's still only 11-minute episodes. And I'm watching that and going, you know what? Like, this has changed my perspective of it because for some reason, we don't have kids. I don't know what children do. What are it's like Peter Capaldi's Doctor going like,
well, you do have a Lego addiction, so you're kind of halfway there.
Yeah, I know. It's like the 12th Doctor going to Courtney Woods going, what are you, 35? Like having no clue what children are about. So I don't know what I don't have any indication of what a TV show aimed at preschoolers is, other than being basically Duplo Lego blocks come to life.
Oh, God.
I have no idea. I have because I don't raise kids.
You're not defending yourself well here. But
no, I'm
okay,
not. I'm just showing my cluelessness. So whenever someone shows me anything that's intended for adult or for preschool audiences, I go, okay, so that helps me. I having seen an episode, I skimmed through it. I didn't watch the whole thing of Paddington. I can kind of see, okay, David Tennant's going to be the Doctor because he's ripe for like voiceover, but he does a lot of voiceover stuff already, and I could totally see the whatever Doctor it is in the CBeebies show being David Tennant voicing.
He's most likely to say yes too.
Yeah,
when you get down to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the voice talent for these things will be a lot better than we give it credit for. I think it's not going to just be for some kids. I bet you
it'll be fine. I'm just making fun to make fun, but I'm sure it'll be fine for whatever for what it is aimed at children. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Will we like it better than the RTD Christmas special in 2026?
let's not judge any of this until we've seen all of it. How about that?
Yeah. Remember when Ben Whishaw was rumored to be the next Doctor?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Isn't he perpetually rumored to be the next Doctor? Him and Ollie Alexander?
He is that kind of Doctor. Yeah, that kind of actor, I should say. Yeah. He just feels right.
You just age out eventually of that.
Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe Doctor Who doesn't always have to be young, attractive men, Could be old, attractive men like Peter
There you
Capaldi.
go. Let's go for old twinks. How about that?
Alan Cumming, he's too busy with the
and
traders.
that's complimentary. I'm not insulting him.
Alan Cumming also lives in New York, so I don't know if he'd want to do much in Britain. Yeah. He's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I think, next week or something.
Well, that excludes him from any Doctor Who then. Cause
he was great in that Whittaker episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fantastic in Lux as well. Very, very good.
I thought he was pretty good in Lux. Yeah, doing the voice of what's his name?
That's good because not much else was.
I've never really seen any of it, but I'm told by those who watch the American version of the Traders that Cumming is stellar there as well. So.
Well, for people that like Eric and I lasted about 20 minutes and thinking, nope, this show is not for us. So off we go.
And then, of course, Boris is invincible. So.
I know what that means. And please don't explain. No, I don't care. Also, so there's that.
I haven't seen GoldenEye in a long time. I thought about watching the Bond films again, just for fun, just to spot props mostly, but that might have appeared in Doctor Who. But more on that a little bit later. There's a staircase update coming up, kids, and you want to stay tuned for that. But first, it's 2026. Normally, in most normal years, we'd be going, hey, it's only a month away to Gallifrey One. But and we still are. We still are the official podcast of Gallifrey One. But this year, things are going to be a little bit different. I will be the only Radio Free Skaro member attending Gallifrey One for reasons that we'll get into shortly. And B, there will be no Gallifrey One live show. That's not because of the only 33% of RFS will be there. Sean Lyon, the director of Gallifrey One's going a bit of a different route, which is fine because there's slightly the reduced attendance this year because of certain things, which we'll get into, and the guest lineup being what it is for certain things, which we'll get into, is why we're not doing the live show. Which I told Sean immediately after he told me, listen, how do you top episode 1000 on stage with Stephen Moffat and Julie Gardner? I'm perfecly fine taking 26 off. So I will be there. Warren and Chris, you will not.
Nope.
No, or Kat for that matter.
Or Kat for that matter, yeah, indeed.
And a few other Canadian friends of ours, which that'll make sense in a bit too.
I mean, to give, we'll try not to get too political here, but let's, in last year, obviously, was when the whole 51st state thing came up and angered a lot of us. And the general feeling in Canada now, after a few weeks of like, we're really angry and stuff, elbows up, to hell with you, America, we're boycotting everything. Here's the thing: we're still pretty much boycotting America, but it's no longer like a rah-rah thing. It's just an accepted way of life. The travel to the U.S. from Canada has plummeted.
My take on this for me was, I looked at it and I said, listen, if I'm going to be a Canadian patriot, et cetera, not to puff myself up or anything, that wouldn't be very Canadian to do. I can't go, except when I want to have a good time. Like on principle, I can't do that, and it's got nothing to do with the con or anything else. It's just I'm not crossing that border because I hate this guy. I'm sorry, conservative listeners, but I do hate this guy and all the stuff he's doing. And this probably will never happen, because I was talking to a friend of mine who is not a straight middle-aged white man. He said, well, you get to cross fine. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. I shouldn't be taking advantage of that. So anyway, on principle, I'm not going to the States until, I don't know, maybe the midterms or afterwards. We'll see. Whatever develops. But I just can't reconcile that. And unfortunately, going down and see my friends, American friends who are lovely people, can't happen until it happens. So, yeah.
Well, the whole elbows up movement and all that kind of stuff in the wake of the statements made by that person in America, it had a very profound impact on Canadians. It literally changed what the expected outcome of our last federal election
dramatically
was.
Yeah,
very dramatically.
Yeah.
So it's something that Canadians are, for the most part, taking very, 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 at least some of us, I guess. There are those who are on the opposite side of the fence. But anyway, it's something that we are taking very seriously. And to this point, by this point, I still have not purchased any like American alcohol, because that was pulled from the shelves for a while in many provinces. I think Ontario is the only one that still won't have
none. Yeah,
American alcohol on the store shelves. Would change the expected outcome of our federal election. There's been a lot of stuff with just American food products and a whole litany of like phone apps to tell you about the source of like where I don't know, that loaf
all
of bread
the grassroots
or whatever
stuff too. This wasn't the government saying do this. I mean, other than the Ontario government getting rid of booze because liquor stores are controlled by the provincial government, so that yes, they have in varying ways done decrees or not. But other than that, it's mostly grassroots, just Canadians saying, "No, to hell with this."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Warren is, you're bang on that. It's for us to, go into the States, it would probably be trivial. But
unless
you
I check
say,
my social media, in which case maybe not.
Yeah, maybe. But as you say, I mean, that's kind of the point, is just to support our country folk who wouldn't have that same level of ease, who should have that same level of ease.
And at the same time, and not to mention Americans are getting picked on because of the color of their skin by goons. Like, I don't want to support a regime that does that. So there's that too. And I don't think that's going to get any better, frankly.
Yep. So, I mean, our collective lack of tourism dollars won't amount to much, but it's still part of a larger movement. And one annoying byproduct of it is, as Warren has already said, like, or one of you guys has said, like, travel from Canadians to the U.S. has plummeted. Like, there's places like Vegas who are just gasping right now because the Canadian tourism dollars just aren't coming. But as a byproduct of all that, because Canadians aren't going to the States so much anymore, flights from here to LA are a lot less efficient. So that kind of just helped to seal the deal somewhat.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say I don't judge anybody who does go. Like, I know you're going, Stephen. I mean, and this is complicated. Like,
because I'm a traitor, Warren. I'm a traitor.
America and Canada have been like your wife is from Wisconsin originally. She's a Canadian and American citizen.
Yeah.
My former boss, half his family is like, his kids are American because his wife's from Idaho originally, and they've all had to have these difficult discussions. And I think he's gone to go to family stuff because you have to. It's not as cut and dried as it looks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a personal choice for me, and I'm just like, no, I can't. I just can't support what's going on down there, and hopefully that changes soon.
Yep. Even if it is California, even if it is a lot better there than other parts of.
We still got to cross the border, man.
Yeah. Well, as I've said to other people I've talked to who are still going to Galley, be they mostly Brits, but one really, really nice thing for us coming from Canada is when we go to the U.S., we clear U.S. immigration before we even get on the plane.
Yeah.
So if something were to happen and we were denied entry or some such, we're at an airport. We're in our home city.
Yeah.
We can go home.
Don't drive with the border people.
Yeah.
It's not a huge deal in that regard. But somebody coming from, say, London who's flown 11 hours and, their social media gets checked or something like that and they're denied entry, that's a long way to go and then a long way to have to go back.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why, I mean, we were talking about flights and just an indication of how travel to the U.S. has dropped. Like, there used to be, Edmonton's not a hub for direct flights to pretty much anywhere. We used to have one to L.A.
Fort McMurray.
Yeah, Fort McMurray, but outside of Canada.
Yeah.
And it's gone. There's no more direct flights to LA anymore because so few people are going yet. So we have to route through Denver now. But we're choosing to do all the customs, both our first port of entry and exit is Edmonton, so that we don't have to worry about actually getting turned away elsewhere. And let's face it, Edmonton's a smaller airport and is much less busy. And I don't think there's going to be that much of a backlog.
One of the effects is when I was traveling to Edmonton, they've, at least at YVR, they've moved the Nexus Pass line to wherever,
some way upstairs remote.
It actually takes longer to walk there and walk back than it does to go through the security line, and that's because nobody's going to the States.
When Kat and I came back from Vancouver in November, you go past the main security thing, and I went into the line, as such as it was. There's nobody there, but anyway, I went into the line and I didn't see any Nexus signage. So I talked to the agent, CATSA agent dude, or Vancouver security, whoever he was. I'm like, is this the Nexus line? He's like, nope, go up that escalator. It's up there. So we get out of line, such as it was, take the escalator up, go around, go through the Nexus thing, go back down, all that kind of stuff, and walk right past the other end of main security.
I've got to think that this is not the only airport this is happening in, right? But there's a lot of back and forth, more than usual, because of probably the film industry, right? And there's a lot less of that, a lot less of the film industry too, frankly. So yeah. Well, I mean, I 100% respect and understand both your reasons for not going. Thank you for understanding and respecting mine. Of course,
for going.
Obviously, it's up to, and we dearly love our American friends. We want to put that out there right now. I want to see my American friends.
There's so many people we're going to miss in general, but a lot of them are definitely American.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, there's only 3 more galleys to go, and that's part of the factor too. It's let's face it, Gallifrey One has changed all of our lives, and
absolutely, yes.
I want to be there for
in
that.
a very, 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 very positive way.
Very positive ways. It doesn't ruin it. Absolutely not. And so I want to go.
A lot of I was going to say a lot of that is down to Sean Lyon as well.
It is because
he's been a big champion of ours.
He has been, and has become a good friend as well. So it'll be good. It's good to see friends of ours, obviously too. But it's also especially now with the show being as
moribund,
moribund. Let's face it, right now, it is the focal point now of Doctor Who in the world, because they're not making the show right now, which has never happened since we started going to Gala. At least I know it was obviously the case from 1990 through to 2003, I guess, basically, or 2004. Apart from the TV movie, which we'll get to in a little bit, because they're celebrating that this year,
and apart from 2016, kind of. But
well, you know what I mean. They're still making it though.
Yeah.
It was still like a thing, an ongoing thing. So
there's no doubt it existed.
And even when they were making the show, it still felt like Gallifrey One was like this sort of like this little retreat, this company retreat that they go to every single year. And so it'll be interesting to see what the vibe is and see what, you know, the professional vibe is and everything like that. And it's, you know, the programming is great. I mean, I've signed up to do panels. I don't know if I'm doing any panels yet, but I've never done them for like years just because we're usually busy doing other stuff for the podcast. And there'll still be podcasts. I think we'll probably try to crank out 2, not the 3 that we've been doing because there won't be a live show to do. So that'll still be a thing. We're going down there early because, of course, Gallifrey One is earlier this year to be to some sporting event. What is it?
Super Bowl, I believe.
No, yeah. Super Bowl's in Santa Clara.
The year after.
This is the NBA All-Star Game, I think, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Which is tying up all the hotels.
Oh, sorry, no, the Olympics are also doing something in 2028.
The LA Olympics, that's in the summer, though. So what we're gonna, which means it coincides with my birthday, and so I which has never happened before at Gallifrey One. So we're flying down slightly early because I didn't want my birthday is the Tuesday, the 3rd. Thank you in advance, everyone who wants to wish me a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't want to spend my birthday on planes, so we're actually going to fly in, and then we're going to go check out the Comic-Con Museum Doctor Who exhibit for it because it closes in March of this year
in San Diego.
Going to pop down there, and so take a little bit of a day trip, and so that's the plan as well. So there'll be Doctor Who related things with my American wife, Erica,
and Canadian
too. So, and she's going to visit her family this month as well. So it's a tricky situation, but I adore the convention. I adore the people that go to it, and I understand why people wouldn't see that even as a reason to not go to the United States now, just based on the geopolitical climate between our two nations. Let's face it, it's a big part of it.
Let me tell you an anecdote from last year. I won't name names, but somebody I know at Galley came up to me and he's like, and he was just joking around, but he was like, "Oh, how's it feel? You're gonna be an American citizen soon?" And I was rather negative in my response. Then I told a New York friend of mine, and she's like, "I'm going to kill that guy." She's American.
All right.
So there's not one hive mind down there. If anybody thought there was.
Yeah. You as with last year, you will be easily spotted me at the convention because I'll be wearing a different Team Canada jersey every single day of the convention. So
I have a Canada's not for sale hat just for my bona fides. I don't agree on much with Doug Ford, but I do agree that hat is dope as hell. So that's why I have that hat.
As I was saying before we started recording, like as of the end of Galley last year,
right,
there was no expectation to not be going this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, obviously things happened, things changed, and 2 of us are not going as a result of that. But for next year, if things are different / better, then as I fully expect to be going to Galley next year.
Hopefully, yeah.
If as long as things are actually better.
Taking it year by year, as you say.
Yeah, because again, as you called out, Stephen, there are only the 3 left, and it would be remiss to not be there for
sad just thinking
2
about
of the 3.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Well,
come on, midterms.
Anyway.
You know what you have to do.
we'll still do our Gallifrey One preview show in late January, I guess it would be this year now. February 1st, I guess, is probably when it comes out, and all that. So some things will remain the same. This isn't the first Galley also that I've been to, and Warren and Chris haven't been. It was 2022 where you two stayed home because of COVID.
And my general feeling is, and Chris is the first to say that he wasn't going. I'm like, if Chris isn't going, there's probably a good reason for it. It's my general feeling on something. And I was like, yes, he's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But on the note of Gallifrey One, they did do another few guests. Janet Fielding, sadly, is no longer able to attend, which is a shame because we had the whole Davison crew was there. Davison, Waterhouse, Sarah Sutton, Mark Strickson was recently announced, but alas, we'll be without Janet Fielding. Hopefully she'll be able to make it to one of the last 2. But this is cool because it's the 30th anniversary of the TV movie. Shot in Vancouver, of course, in January of 1996. They're celebrating that at this convention, so they've added Philip Siegel and Matthew Jacobs Matthew Jacobs, of course, we've talked to a few times now because he was behind Doctor Who Am I in recent years, but also, of course, wrote the thing. So that'll be cool. I always remember, Chris, you and I talking to Philip Siegel the second he basically arrived at the convention, and you just went up to him, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? Let's do it. Let's do it right now. I says, okay, we're doing an interview with the guy who fought for 7 years to bring back Doctor Who. So I'm
great interview, by the way. I still think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's an awesome dude. And you think of the entertainment industry in general, whether it's, behind the camera or behind the scenes or in front of the camera or whatever, and you think of, some people like Tom Cruise, who's really, really short and stuff. And then
all right. Okay, where are we going with this?
No.
You got Philip Siegel, who's like this tall, built like a linebacker, just burly dude. I did not expect that.
I did not expect him to be so massive. Just a huge, I think I was the shortest person in that threesome interview that we did there.
Here's what I love about the guy. He's retired now. He became like a reality factual mogul basically after all that, and good for him. But what he does is he just goes on, he has an Instagram and he just builds models, kit models, and it's great. He's really good at it. I just kind of like seeing his progress doing his models. Yeah, that's his garage is just that. It's like a model factory basically.
Yeah, I will seek him out. There's a few interviews that I always sort of look at, the guest list and go, okay, I want to talk to that person and that person. And catching up with Philip Siegel 12, 13 years after our first time talking to him at Gallifrey One, that'll be kind of cool. So, also, yes. What were you going to say, Chris? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying, yeah. But wasn't it 2012?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
The years glom together, let's admit it.
I think it was the same year that we talked to Richard Sr., who was basically like a bouncing, very energetic person.
Yeah, I think Waris Hussein was there at the same time. We were sort of parked out in the hallway that one year, as I recall. Yeah. I remember Gallifrey One's not by guest list, but where we were located to do interviews. Essentially, there was one that we were sitting in chairs just outside of the green room. Then the other year we were sitting at a table just outside, like further down the hallway by the green room. Yeah. So anyway, they all they also posted like an update about like what to expect for attendance and stuff. I mean, they're still expecting over 2,000 people. It'd be similar in feel and attendance wise, I think, to that 22 convention, which is the first one after COVID that they put on to give an indication of what to expect. And that, I mean, that the vibe at that one was very different because we were like getting together, sort of like healing after spending so much time away. It was a very a restorative convention, one that I think we really needed as a community. It'll be interesting to see what this one will be like, but fun still because it's Gallifrey One and it's just great. Of course, yeah. But we'll still be covering it, even though for obvious reasons it'll be slightly different this year. But anyway, Gallifrey1.com, all the details, all the tickets, everything else to go. Links in the show notes. All right.
Before we move on from there, just as part of the blurb, link in the show notes, etc. Cafe Clutch signups January 24th. For anyone who is going to Galley, they haven't yet announced who's going to be partaking in the Cafe Clutches. But if you get a chance to go to a Cafe Clutch, go take it. Take that chance. It's awesome. We've said that for years and years and years because it's true. It's, the whoever it is, and then as many as 12 people in a little boardroom, and it's a really, really cool time. Yeah,
you've been to 2 or 3 of them. Over the years.
Wayne Yip and McTy. Last year I went to Andrew Smith's just because we're friends with Andrew, and I just wanted to kind of just hang out with him a little bit more. So
you wanted to take your friend to work day, is what it was. You had a little badge on, their little wristband, say, "Don't worry, he's with me."
Mean, to be fair, I still participated, and I was still doing research into like his unwritten Sontaran story that he later did for Big Finish, and things like that, and
which I have given to me by him.
Other stuff that he was commissioned for back in the day that never actually manifested into a full production or whatever. So but it was fun.
It was fun. It's always fun. Always fun. All right, I teased this earlier, but and I know this has been coming for a little while. But Gav Reimel and John Green at Dalek 6388 on Christmas, Boxing Day, I guess it was. So we didn't even have a chance to talk about this on our Blake 7 episode, obviously. But they did a great episode about recreating what the studio setup for the Feast of Stephen might have looked like.
Bananas.
Using only what they had at hand, which was a lot of the press release photos of Jean Marsh's companion Sarah Kingdom. The press launch was sort of happened. All the photographers came and took various pictures of Jean Marsh as Sarah Kingdom on the set of the Feast of Stephen. That's when they did it. And as you know, the Feast of Stephen features the first appearance of the Doctor Who, the Spiral Staircase, which I've been obsessing out over a while.
God.
And Gav Reimel got in touch with me a few weeks ago before making this. And it's like, it was kind of like, like I think it's time to give this, put this thing in the spotlight. And even right up to the end of it, like we were basically like analyzing photos and everything like this. And it only then did we realize that the staircase is not just one staircase, quite possibly, in that there's one that sort of lands spiral like counterclockwise, and another one that goes clockwise, essentially, but they are almost identical in every way. Other than that, which is weird, and we don't think it's a way where you could like sort of like pick it up and like sort of rearrange it to spin the other way. So now we're starting to think it's two staircases. There's a second staircase, people. Okay.
Now, we were talking earlier about American officials looking at your social media. If they take one look at this, they will justifiably keep you out of that country.
Quite possibly. So in the video, Gav sort of goes, if you know the answer, we're relieving ourselves of this burden. If you know more about this spiral staircase prop, do let us know. So I'm hoping this is a launching pad for solving the mystery of the staircase. I'm putting it to bed for now.
Sure.
Until I see, but you know what? I still watch random old British TV shows on YouTube and stuff. I know that this staircase or staircases existed at the BBC between like 65 and I want to say 79. We saw it in the Blake 7 episode. That's its last known appearance, I think. Could be wrong about that. If there's someone out here listening to this right now, if you knew more about these spiral staircase props, let us know. Don't enable them.
I'm just assuming everybody already turned off during our political discussion.
Probably. So we're only talking.
This is the topper if they didn't.
Well, that's why I had to tease this so that people would stick around for it. It's an awesome video. I love that they just like look together. It's okay. This comes from here, and it's great. It's so great. I adore their videos so much. They are my favorite new Doctor Who outfit in the last 5 years. Let's face it.
I mean, the level of detail. I haven't had a chance to watch this one yet, but just some of the other Dalek ones that they've gone into in the past, just the level of detail and especially the level of attention.
Yeah,
is just phenomenal.
It really is. You could say it's obsessive attention to detail, but that's what makes it so good and proper. Compelling, exactly,
yeah.
Chris. Exactly, compelling.
I'm not going to say they outdo even you because they don't, but they
do. They do.
No, they do.
I'm so glad that Gavin took this on because his research skills are much better than mine because I'm not wired that way. I just look for things and then hope to find commonalities. But like the rest of the set, like just analyzing everything like that is amazing. I've watched like all of the Terry Nation Army Dalek 6388 videos like several times. Like they're basically like episodes of Doctor Who and Vam to me that I just want to watch again and again. So support them if you can. They're great. Links to the show notes.
Looking at the YouTube page with it, it's on the right hand side with all the you might also like videos. There's one I see from them posted about 6 years ago about the Feast of Stephen in general. So this is not their first visitation, as it were, to the Feast of Stephen.
No, it's not. I don't know. I want to watch them all again, and I probably will. It's a long year with no new Doctor Who. I might just watch all the. Maybe we'll just, instead of a pilgrimage of the show itself, I'll just do a pilgrimage of all the.
Do have a pretty restricted media diet.
I do, but you know what, Warren? I enjoy it.
Hey, I never said. I just watched a documentary about, which you've seen, about 1975 cinema in America. Yeah. So I mean, I am no better.
That's true. You know, to each his own. To each his own. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff to talk about on YouTube this episode before we get to our Nick Hurran Miniscope. Rachel Talalay's been busy, has a couple videos out over the last couple weeks. One with some unaired footage of the director's cut of Heaven Sent. Not clips as much as more just sort of screenshots and stuff, because it is BBC material and everything like that. But yeah, she's really been ramping up her YouTube page with stuff that nerds like us love to watch about the making of one of the greatest Doctor Who episodes ever. And then she did a follow-up with more questions about the filming on the TARDIS, the various TARDIS sets that she's filmed in recent years. So that is really cool too. Yep. Both are linked in the show notes.
And part 3 coming eventually as well.
Yep.
For that series.
Looking forward to that.
Series.
Looking forward to that.
There's one bit in the video where she talks about Capaldi and how his kind of TARDIS acting was based on his movement that he kind of more or less decided because he knew where he'd be going. And except for one shot where she wanted it wide on the stairs and she had to kind of guide him to that area. I make it sound like more of a chore than it was, but it was interesting to how they did it. And
how an actor likes to explore the space and just, and the camera.
He's very good at that. Yeah.
He is really good at it, and where the camera can follow him. And it's really, that Pickwood set is, it's our we like it, but like
it's modern for sure.
I forget how many with the, it's all one room, but there's the place underneath the console area that has a lot of stuff with Clara going around and getting the various keys at the beginning of Dark Water. And I think, that's right. There's a whole area down there. Every time they shoot in different bits, like the Doctor's, desk where he makes the Tudis in Flatline. That's the same set. It's all just parts of the same set, which is really
and where
effective.
She talked about LED lights and what a kind of revolution they are in terms of lighting, because they're not getting hot, and they can just, if they want to light an actor, they can just put an LED sort of sheet on the TARDIS console, and that's lighting them for that shot.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really, really great insights into making not just Doctor Who, but television and film in general. Just what they do to get certain shots and everything. It's really fascinating stuff. So How I Filmed This, Rachel Talalay is the YouTube channel. Check all those out as well. Lots of YouTube recommendations. See, we funnel all the bad YouTube stuff out of the way and just direct you to the top-notch stuff. Speaking of J.R. Southall, he posted the clips of Sophie Aldred on Celebrity Mastermind. This aired on December 30th on BBC Two, where her specialist subject was Sylvester McCoy, and got most of the answers right, I believe. I think she missed one or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there was a general one.
Clearly.
I haven't watched.
Maybe it was general knowledge that got her, but I just got a message from a friend saying, just reminding me that Sophie Aldred was on Celebrity Mastermind. Just a message, more or less, just saying, "Oh yeah, she lost." Yeah. I did. Yeah, the clip is just with Sophie's appearances, so I don't know who else she was on with, but she's pretty good. Kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So I'll watch it. Links in the show notes. You can watch that as well. Sophie Aldred on Mastermind. Also, this is a lovely video celebrating from Big Finish, celebrating 25 years of Bernice Summerfield. Of course, the character created by Paul Cornell in the books, and he's on the video with Gary Russell and Lisa Bowerman, and Simon Guerrier's there as well. It's a really well-made video, edited by Rob Ritchie, another friend of the show. Nick Briggs is there too. So yeah, it's a really cool retrospective on this character in a book that has gone on to have such a huge extended life on Big Finish Audio. Mm-hmm.
I say this every time you mention Rob Ritchie. If you can at all, check out his animation for The Next Doctor, in quotes, and it's Matt Berry. It is funny as hell.
The April Fool's
I can't repeat half of it because it's pretty, go in knowing there's a lot of swearing, but it is very, very, very funny.
Yeah, he's great. He's great at everything. I noticed he did all the animation for Toby Hadoke's Advent calendar as well and stuff. So I like that. I like that. Even though they haven't really announced any animated episodes or anything like that, and I don't think Rob worked on the most recent one either. But he's still got his hand in the till there, still working his magic on Doctor Who stuff, which is pretty cool. So,
and I got to tell him that at a galley a year ago or 2 years ago, whenever he was a guest. And I told him outright, I'm like, your stuff is great, dude, because it is.
It really is.
It is.
It really is. Yeah. Other big Finish stuff. The big Finish. Blah, 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 where are we at here? The Paul Sprague thing. The Paul Sprague Memorial winner, the Wednesday that wasn't, is now available for download. It released on December 29th, which would have been Paul Sprague's 50th birthday. That's sad that he died so young, but his legacy lives on in this wonderful contest that the Big Finish does. The Wednesday that wasn't, by Luke Hollins, who was the winner this year. A short story read by Claire Corbett. That is out now, with Jodie Whittaker's doctor on the cover. Do you want to analyze the cover a little bit? Looks like there's I like this. Only copy, do not lose. Production code V. December 25th, 1965. That is, of course, the Feast of Stephen. So that's hilarious. How does that factor in? How does a missing episode of Doctor Who factor in?
We've looked at this one before because it's got the shooty power gloves.
The power gloves on there and the little
It's got the magnetic clamp thing at the right, and a yo-yo, and I'm not sure what the thing in the bottom left is, the cracked tile.
I've seen it before, though.
Yeah, I have too, but I couldn't tell you either.
Yeah, I think you're right. We might have.
And then one of the cubes from the Power of Three
under
her coat.
Yeah,
that thing at the bottom left looks like every generic thing you get, which gives you points in a video game as you're traipsing around in
I know,
actually, yeah. What is it? I don't know, but it gave me points.
It looks very familiar, and I can't place it. But yeah, we might have analyzed this cover art before, but whatever. It's out now. You can get it. You can get it for free. You can get it for free at the Big Finish website. Also covered for Big Finish, Zygon Century Transformation. A box set of 3 full cast audio adventures comes in April of 2026. No cover art yet to overanalyze, but I'm sure that will come in the weeks ahead. And then Toby Hadoke takes over the rest of the news. Let's see his absent friends. Toby Hadoke, of course, the harbinger of doom and death at the end of each year on BBC Radio 7 Extra. He has a
sure he'd be thrilled to hear that.
I know he has a wonderful 2-part thing called Toby Hadoke's and so absent friends, where he talks about the people who we've lost over the past year in the science fiction and horror genre, and then much more Doctor Who related and much more done on his own time is his In Memoriam video, which was released to Patreons today, New Year's Day, but will be out on YouTube by the time this episode comes out, with all the people who have sadly passed on who are in Doctor Who. And Toby's very thorough in this year's video. Like, some of the people whose passings we only found out this year actually died like 2 or 3 years ago, but they're mentioned in this video too. So
that's often a theme of his In Memoriam videos, is there's people as those people who died a few years back and just it wasn't discovered for whatever reason.
Yeah, or revealed to us. Pretty sure the people who know those people knew they died in 2022, but
one would hope so. Yes.
Yeah, but Doctor Who nerds like us don't always get the memo. Story of our lives. Doctor Who fans don't always get the memo.
You guys is clueless.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Anything else to add? You two?
Nope.
Okay.
No, we're good.
Covered it all. All right. Then
we'll keep this one kind of short, other than the, however long the Nick Hurran thing is.
That's true. Which you can hear right now, because we're about to talk about, for the first of 3 weeks in a row, director Nick Hurran in the Miniscope.
Could be a theme park from the future. Or we might be inside a Miniscope.
Oh, shut up.
A Miniscope, yes, of course, why not?
We are back with the Miniscope, folks, and this time we are digging deep into the Doctor Who career of director Nick Hurran, whose 5 episodes came within a very tight timeline in Doctor Who. 2 episodes in Series 6, 2 more in 7, and then The Day of the Doctor. So once again, following on from Jamie Magnus Stone, who did a bunch of episodes in a short amount of time, then a big anniversary special, so too did Nick Hurran. So yeah, all contained in the Stephen Moffat era as well.
Yeah, and the Matt Smith era specifically.
And the Matt Smith era.
And mostly bangers.
You don't consider Day of the Doctor to be season 7?
Well, technically, that's a special, isn't it? I mean,
I kind of lump it with 7 anyway, though.
Yeah,
so do I.
Yeah,
Same time with the Doctor.
Well, I mean, do you lump in Power of the Doctor with Flux?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
No, I lump it into season 13, but
exactly.
Not Flux.
Yeah.
Oh. Flux is season 13.
So is this.
So is Sea Devils. So is.
But if you go by my hard drive, it's season 32, which I find annoying as hell. So
right, or season Farg 3, I think is how it originally was tented. Right. Yeah. Anyway, today we're doing it's a 3-part Miniscope. Day of the Doctor will form its own, and in part 3, the second half will be Asylum of the Daleks and the Angels Take Manhattan. But this week, the first one will be the 2 from Series 6, The Girl Who Waited and the God Complex, which formed one production block, one of which is a Dr. Light episode. They were getting a lot better with disguising the fact that there was a Dr. Light episode in the Moffat era, I found, and this is indeed one of those. Yep, The Girl Who Waited. Boy, oh boy.
Still great.
Right?
Oh, it's so good. And not to beat a dead horse that I brought back to life just to beat it to death again, but I mean... Oh, the Moffat era, man. It's just so good. Everything about it is just so good.
I know. I mean, I know. You know, like, we say it a lot. We're Moffat fans, but, like, I'll be honest, I haven't actually watched a lot of Moffat Who.
Same here.
In the past few years, let's face it, since the last marathon that I had, pilgrimage, I suppose I should say.
It's... 8 years, over 8 years since Whittaker was announced. So
God, that's depressing in a way.
Yeah, I'm very old.
Yeah, and then there's A Girl Who Waited though, with which basically has 3 cast members, and 2 of them are the same people, and there's a robot, and it's like utterly compelling. And it's not even written by Moffat, oddly enough. It's written by Tom McRae, of course. Yeah.
Well, that's one of my notes.
Neither of today's are.
Yeah.
One of my notes start with, this gets a hell of a lot out of very little in the way of resources. Like, you got a couple rooms, you got some projected places, you got the TARDIS, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. It's funny though, when you watch enough of that era of Doctor Who, the locations stick out after a while. Like they're like clearly Amy's in the Millennium Center lobby when she's talking to Interface.
I think it was on the TARDIS wiki that said that the reception area for the facility is the same as in New Earth at the hospital or something like that.
Okay.
It's the Millennium Center. There's 18 episodes minimum
that take place
any given time that they're shot there. And the fact that they could dress it somewhat differently many of the times was very impressive.
Yep. The garden would later show up. I didn't do any checking on this, but it sure as hell looks a lot like the garden that Missy prances around in all throughout Series 8.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Could be. I didn't see anything to say that it was, but
yeah,
it could be.
It looked so. It was, that's fun. Obviously, that's not like, hey, let's use this. But although, both of those, the Millennium Center certainly had already been used before. I wonder when the last time they used that Millennium Center lobby. Maybe we just watched it. Maybe that was it. Who knows? But
not since the Moffat era? Question mark.
Can't remember.
Definitely not in the. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be proven wrong here, but I don't remember it being, or they disguised it well in the Jodie era if they did use it.
Yeah. Anyway, this is really good. And before it goes on to location mode, it's in like featureless white room mode, which still looks kind of cool and everything. Because it reminds me of the Ark in Space a little bit, but.
I was getting 2001 vibes.
That too. Yeah. Yeah. So Warren, you said you really like this one, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. And if we're just going by directing, just my stuff off the top is there's a lot of frenetic close-ups which totally work to cover up the fact that you don't have a lot to work with in these 2 rooms, and just the way they separate them in what essentially is the same room, but the mirror and all that, it really works, that stuff. And then there's shots, and he repeats this throughout the whole thing, where they're looking in the mirror and they're reflected off it, and then you've got Amy's face or vice versa, and it kind of creates a natural wipe, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think those look really cool. I'm just not to do our usual branching off from the actual directing. Like, I guess this is also directing in a way, but Karen Gillan, I said this at the time, is so good as old Amy, as herself too, or as young Amy or whatever. Just that back and forth is so well done.
And she was not meant to play old Amy originally.
No, they're going to get some other actor in there to play old Amy. Like, well, that's
Moffat more or less put his foot down, saying people aren't going to buy old Amy if it's a different actress as much as they would if it's Karen Gillan.
Yeah, it's a real modern undead situation is what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if old Amy was scorched and whatnot, maybe.
I just remember the guy saying he's a doctor. Everybody believe him. I'm like, am I the only non-stupid one in this situation? Like, why does anybody believe this guy's a doctor? Give me a break.
Yeah.
You've got the benefit of distance and hindsight and whatever.
Excuse me, I'm 15 years old and I'm watching this. I know what's what.
I look forward to seeing what Karen Gillan looks like when she's like, 51 or something, like however, or 56, I guess it was, 36. About that, yeah.
Thing I saw with Alexander Siddig, I think is how you say the guy, the doctor from Deep Space Nine.
Yep.
And there was an episode where he ages and he looks terrible. Like it's all 90s makeup. And then they showed him now when he's the age that's supposed to be, and he's just a handsome devil.
He's
got like gray beard, a gray beard. Like it's nothing like what they conjectured him to look like.
I mean, I granted it's supposed to be like age 200 or something, but like older Matt Smith in Time of the Doctor does not look like Matt Smith now in his 40s.
No. He's actually pushes up glasses 300 in Time of the Doctor.
Yeah,
is it 3? Okay,
yeah. But I did like it that he's 300, and because you never actually see Time Lords age, right? They just regenerate. So it was kind of, and most importantly, he didn't turn into like a little Dobby guy. So that's key.
That's because the little Dobby Doctor was 900 something.
Yeah, you turn into Yoda apparently.
Like
some much more.
I've still got a chip on my shoulder over that one. Was it a decade or two later?
Was it Deadly Assassin where there's the old?
Sorry, we will talk about Nick Hurran eventually. We got to cover the Deadly Assassin.
Chopping and changing every 200 years. Yeah.
When they're with the old dudes on Gallifrey talking about regenerations. I think that was. Deadly Assassin, anyway. Yeah,
surprisingly, in the 70s, they didn't have tiny little Yoda puppet guys. What a shock.
Chris, your thoughts, early thoughts. Girl Who Waited. What do you think of this one?
I miss the Matt Smith era a lot as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Full stop. I mean, yeah, Warren talks about Karen Gillan. Sure, of course, she does great work. Arthur Darvill.
He's also very good in this, yes.
So good.
Tremendous.
So is Matt Smith, honestly. He's really good in this.
Yeah. They're all phenomenal. God Complex as well. They're just all so good. They were at the peak of their powers.
Mm-hmm. What a team. What a team.
I agree.
This TARDIS team is amazing.
I miss this crew.
The second last note.
I said it before, but
yeah. They're really, really good. It was just fun to watch them together. And, they bounce off each other. I mean, they've obviously been at this for over a year now, over almost 2 years at this point. So you get the impression that Nick Hurran is just like, I'm going to point the camera and they're going to do their thing and get their lines and stuff. And they're all familiar with how they deliver their lines. And I'm just going to capture and stuff,
Yeah. I mean, it also didn't hurt that they were, Karen was obviously younger than Matt and Arthur, but they're
not by a lot though.
They're of a comparable age.
They're a peer group basically. Yeah,
they hung out off set, and they were definitely very good friends.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that definitely shines through on the screen.
We'll probably get to it anyway, so I need to point it out before we do. I have noticed two different distinct shots that Nick Hurran.
I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah. One of them is the reflections of shots, usually.
Yep, like absolutely.
It's some way either it be as much as a mirror. I like it when they have like the two shots of the two Amy's talking to each other, but it's just sort of in a mirror. So, which is great because it's great to see the reaction of someone and the person talking in the same shot. It's not always right. There's not sometimes a reason to do that or a way to do that, but when you're doing it this way, when they're talking into the time mirror, there is, and I love those.
And that's the kind of thing that would often be done as a cut back and forth thing as well, especially because it's the same actor.
And it'd be boring, It'd be because you would obviously obviously they're cutting, and the person you're seeing who's the back to the camera is obviously going to be the double, and it's like eventually the viewer will like realize how the trickery is done. And this is a great way of like I said, both showing the emotions of each people, the reactions and stuff. He also does it like in, he does this in the next episode, God Complex too. So I'm going to just use both of them because these types of shots are in both. There's that, looking at the reflection of the door sign, like the camera will shoot that, and the character will walk up to that. And then there's the dissolves across, and like there's multiple times in this episode, And the big one is, of course, the final confrontation between old Amy and Rory, separated by the TARDIS door, and we see, but it's just it's a soft, it's like a split screen, but it's the soft of split screen stuff to say.
It's supposed to be like the TARDIS door, but it just kind of works.
Yeah.
When the so-called split screen stops and the image of Amy fades away, and you're left with with Darvel up against the door, and then the part of the door that was occupied by Amy's face is now just the door. Anyway, good stuff.
It's great. I just love seeing reactions of people in the same shot. And sometimes you don't want to be Richard Martin. Just let's do a big 4-person wide shot, and have you imagine the reactions. We both get close-ups. It's a split screen, but it's not a gimmick. It's artistically done. I also the third shot, actually, which I just thought of, he really likes the close up, like the depth of field close up, basically. Like he's basically got a longer lens on it, but the shot is a big close up of their face, but the camera, you can tell, is not actually near them. And sometimes they'll use that. Sometimes use that to shoot through like the TARDIS scenery and stuff, like the thing that goes up and down, the time rotor. Sometimes they'll shoot through that. Sometimes it'll just be like there'll be stuff in the way as well. He's an inventive use of artistic shots without being like too showy. This is the one thing I've noticed over these two.
There's another one that isn't too showy, but it's different, which is when they're doing the elevator buttons and Amy does one and that's all one run broken and shot.
Yeah.
And it keeps going. And I'm like, how did they do that? Were they just moving the set around so you're at different rooms? Like, because it really works and it's all in camera. So
I think the set was the same, because that's one thing, like the chairs were on the same side of the table and all that kind of stuff. I think it might have just been Matt Smith moving out of frame.
Yeah.
But for that, I assume you noticed as well that when Arthur Darvill's pressing the buttons, he does it very slowly, very methodically.
But it still works. It's still great. Like,
gives the whether it's Smith or whoever on the other side of the door, gives them time to get to their mark. And
but I presume it is one take. I think this is. I didn't watch it, but I think this is the infamous Confidential where Amy and Rory go swimming with sharks or something like that, because it was a Dr. Light episode. So therefore, the crew was also off covering the actual Doctor episode. And so they only had one Confidential crew as well. So I think that's why they had one episode where Amy and Rory just hang around with sharks. So we didn't find out a lot of a lot about this particular episode.
Episode 10, Out and About with Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill. Can Karen get up to 100 miles an hour around one of the UK's fastest racetracks? And can Arthur rise to the challenge of swimming in a tank of sharks?
Doctor Who Unleashed never stooped to this. I got to give him that.
No, well, they didn't have to deal with the Dr. Light episodes as much. Like, the reason we got that...
They didn't. They had fewer episodes to cover, full stop.
Yeah, the reason we got that awesome David Tennant directed and hosted documentary...
That one is great.
...is because it was the Confidential when Blink happened.
For Blink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, sometimes you get that. Sometimes you're literally jumping sharks. So, yeah.
Oh, well, as one does. There's another thing. This is more about the editing, but he's also involved in that, where old and young Amy are fighting the robots in that small room, and they're kind of cutting between the two of them. And I'm like, that is extraordinarily difficult. And the fact that it looks seamless and you don't think about it just shows how much skill goes into doing that, because it's real easy to screw that up.
Yeah. Yeah. And the slow motion stuff at the end, like the big fight, which is sort of like, it's dramatic, but part of me thinks, is the slow motion stuff, was the episode running a little light, and then maybe they had just to lengthen it a little bit. I don't know, but it's effective, especially the very last shot where, she closes her eyes and she gets zapped by the robots, but
and anesthetized. I had a note about that saying that slow-mo Amy kicking ass looked good, but maybe it ran a little too long. They did a little too much of it, like taking it as far as when Rory puts the Mona Lisa over the head of the handbot, and it's like that. I don't know if it needed it to be that much,
right?
But I didn't. It's
still fun though.
I didn't consider that it might be underrunning. So you might be right. Like God Complex is 48 minutes and change with credits and next time and all that kind of stuff. This was a little shorter. But. Yeah,
I know for that is old Amy kicking robot asses, superb. Because it's just fun to see her do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about Karen Gillan's performance. Apparently she also did things like worked with the speech coach to change her her voice somewhat, and worked with a movement coach to change her movement. The padding she had to wear naturally changed her movement to a degree as well, things like that. So it's all her performance, but she had some help.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, she sought out. I imagine that probably, she probably worked with the director. Maybe we get this in. How about we get this person to work on this? That sort of thing. It's a lot of what we see from a director isn't everything. Is basically what I mean to say. Working with the actors and everything else beforehand also helps shape the episode. But I think I wrote a lot of notes for part one. Not as many for the second one, the God Complex.
Yeah,
I feel like we've covered almost all of them though. In our
there's a couple things.
Yeah,
but I one thing when they're doing the glasses cam, like I was thinking to myself, well, how do you actually go about doing that? Do you run through the whole scene again with that camera, just kind of doing the POV? Just run through the entire scene because you don't know where you're going to cut into this. Like it wouldn't be that tough to do.
Are you saying the glasses didn't actually have a camera?
Yes, I am exactly saying. I was trying to figure out the logistics of doing it.
I know what you mean.
I say that just because maybe it actually did.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I mean,
2011,
I don't know.
I doubt it, but
no, it doesn't. I'm always curious about that too. When a particular effect isn't going to be there for the entirety of the take, how much of it do you shoot?
But it might be easier just to go through part of a scene, just going through the motions, so you've got flexibility to cut with too. Yeah,
you get coverage of it. Yeah, I think they probably do just shoot the whole scene. I mean, why not? You're right there.
Just do a take with that, and then you just got to whoever the actor is you're following just has to run through the motions, right?
Yeah.
So.
Google Glass was sold to the public in 2012.
Yeah, you don't bet a TV show on Google Glass.
And where's Google Glass now?
Gone because they killed it. But exactly. I'm just saying it's
something that could have happened.
It's possible.
But I don't see the BBC who didn't think you could steal an episode because they had the DVD. I'm pretty sure the same guys aren't. Yeah, let's use Google Glass.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, it's a camera. They just shot a text.
You could do it with a GoPro now. You could just have it on the side of the camera and just have it taken that the whole time, right?
As has been done. I know, like Colin Teague, I think, when he's directing Last of the Time Lords, had a GoPro mounted on the dash of Martha's car. And it looks very much like a GoPro. It's the same thing in 2007. It's like, what is this? Why is there like a webcam footage?
But here's the thing. I'll take that any day over when they show somebody talking to a webcam and it's on film. And they just have bad looking overlays. That you don't see as much of that now because people just shoot it on an iPhone or whatever. But man, there was that period of time in like the early 2000s where they do that, where people were vlogging, but it's clearly a film or digital cinema camera, and you're like, come on.
Listen, Ryan's opening YouTube vlog in The Woman Who Fell to Earth is like, this doesn't look like a webcam.
Yeah, he's got the world's greatest webcam, the Arri.
Yeah, it's Arri
Alexa webcam.
Yeah, but it's literally the first shot of an entire era, though. So it's like, what do? Do you make it look?
And this is mostly
bad?
me just being stupid about something.
I know, but you know what? When you see that attention to detail, they go, yes, you nailed it.
As we record this, we're not long after. It's not long after us doing the Children of Earth rewatch, and as I mentioned during that, the stark difference in how things look for the camera being the contact lens cameras. So the camera being the contacts versus what you see on the computer screen for the contacts for the video quality and resolution and whatnot is hugely different. So.
Now it does look a hell of a lot better.
2009. So
the shooting, like whatever they were doing to shoot with it, it does look. They're filmizing or whatever they're doing, looks a hell of a lot better than the stuff they did in the first two seasons of Torchwood. Especially the first season looks really tapey.
Yeah, I do want to see behind the scenes footage like we did for series 2 though, which was unfilmized when put on the actual Blu-ray. So it's like, yes, we got Obi Video 2006.
I mean, that would be kind of cool. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember there being some stuff on untreated film stuff for the next Doctor disc as well.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I better look on that then. I forgot all about that.
And it's still the best is the rehearsal footage for Star Trek Nemesis. The only good thing about Star Trek Nemesis, by the way.
Yes, it's the multicam scene between Patrick Stewart and Tom Hardy. Yes, 100%. Chris, did you have any notes for Girl Who Waited?
I made way more notes on the God Complex than I did the Girl Who Waited. So the only thing I had left was at one point when future Amy is talking to Rory at the TARDIS door, there's a bit of like brown makeup running down the side of her nose. That's gone in the next shot. So thankfully somebody caught it, but it looked a little off, but it was very brief.
I imagine the director might have some say, but I don't know actually back in these days. But the music was nice and subtle.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
That was Warren's first remark when he was the first of us to rewatch this. And what was your comment back when
something along the lines of Restrained Murray Gold is pretty good. When he's got some restraints, and it's, I mean, to be fair, he was probably given instructions too to make it more bombastic. So I can't really lay it all at his door, but the new series, and he's guilty of this crime in other eras too, since he did a lot of music for the show, but.
Yeah, I feel like it is a producer's prerogative, I think, a lot of the times, and what they want out of the music for whatever. I did notice that there's like a sequence when Amy and the two Amys and Rory being all heroic and stuff like that, and like there's the 11th Doctor theme in there. I'm like, they don't have
sometimes the reusing doesn't really work.
They don't have another like action sort of like we figured it out kind of here we go kind of theme that isn't directly tied to the actual Doctor, you know? So
unless that's supposed to make you think that they're doing doctorish acts.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Could be, I guess, but a different snippet of music. That's where you can kind of tell that, okay, they're just sort of recycling stuff right here.
But there was a lot of that, not just here. Like,
yeah, no, it's towards the end of the season. This is the Dr. Light episode, and we're gonna have to reuse some music as well.
Like my go-to is how the great music at the end of Time of the Doctor, which is super effective, is first in the Rings of Hakaton, where it's terrible and overbearing. So it's context. It's all context.
Yeah.
The Let's Kill Hitler was shot after all these. Because God Complex and Girl Who Waited were the same production block, but not the last stuff to be filmed. That was shot. Other earlier aired stuff was shot later.
I think one of the last things was that cornfield sequence, because they had to wait for the corn to be to grow to its full size. That's what Richard Senior said. Basically when directing that. So yeah,
because God Complex, Girl Who Waited were Block 5, Block 6 was Closing Time, Block 7, Wedding of River Song, and Let's Kill Hitler.
Oh, there we go, with Alex Kingston. So, anything else then about the superb, utterly throwaway, but one of the best episodes I've seen in some time? Girl Who Waited. Anybody else?
That pretty much covers it. Yeah, it's great. I really miss the Matt Smith era.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the God Complex then, written by Toby Whithouse, also directed by Nick Hurran.
Also good.
Also very good, in this weird, creepy hotel with a bunch of people in it, and of course a Minotaur that's stomping around, a completely physical.
Sometimes a little too much physical, frankly. But,
oh, really? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, they show them a little too much near the end, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, my first note is liminal spaces are always a winner, and there's a lot of liminal spaces in this one.
Yeah. Yep, it's a creepy set. I think they wanted some Victorian house or something like that. So let's go make it like cheap hotels from the 80s
they are creepy as hell.
They are creepy. Yeah, exactly. Like Midwestern murders or something like that. Feel like they've happened there, but
apparently all the quarters and rooms were in studio.
I'm not surprised by that. Because where do you find a hotel like that? You know?
Yeah, the lobby, the bar, and the stairwell were an actual hotel.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
One thing I noticed he does here, and he does in other stuff too, is that he loves a quick, not quite out of context cut, like where the cop at the beginning, they cut to her being, I can't remember what the hell she's being what the thing is she sees. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
gorilla, right? Yeah. But then she cuts back to what's a little girl, which seems completely out of context, but might be her being scared or something. Like he does that a lot. Like there's a shot in Day of the Doctor where they, I think he's looking at the painting of Arcadia, Matt Smith, and then they just cut to him screaming, and then they cut back. Like there's a lot of those. There's a lot of that in this one too, where especially where they're becoming faithful or whatever.
Yeah.
She says in her note that Amy finds that she was scared by the gorilla as a little girl. So.
Yeah. But at the time you don't know that. It's just like this random cut that works. That sort of adds to the flavor of it, So I just find it interesting that he does a lot of that here, but he also does it in other episodes too. Asylum of the Daleks, I'm pretty sure it's in too.
Well, I made a note about just all the cutaway shots in general to the actors laughing, crying, screaming.
Yeah.
When they after they say praise him, like just in general, that was very effective. I like that a lot.
Super effective. Yeah, I agree.
And then just alongside that, all the black and white CCTV footage that was that looked good. That was fun.
Yep. I also like when that police officer, and I think it happens a couple other times, like when she's reading a note or something, and there's that sort of like dissolved split screen again.
Yeah.
Where in the left hand of the screen you could see like the art, like what she's reading, the page of paper, like that's a great way of like, instead of like doing a flashback effect and do this, like, no, you can cut to it right away and have it in the same scene without being like, your attention's drawn to it, but isn't like take over the whole scene,
I didn't freeze frame it, but I did notice that in her notes somewhere you can make out the name of novice, whoever it was, the cat nun. Whose picture is shown on the wall. So she was in the same group as that cat nun.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. So when they gathered them by different groups, what else in this one? Like I said, I sort of like the 2 or 3 shots that he likes really come across through here as well. Like the split screens, like the reflections, the shot of reflections through there. I like the repeated shots too, where you see, they do it like it's on purpose, and it happens in fairly short succession when like someone looks in. You can see Amy, I think. You can see her reflection in the door sign, then the close up of the door handle turning, and then they do it again. Those exact same shot sequence for the Doctor later on as he looks into his room and stuff like that. I think that was kind of cool.
It's also fun to see. So apparently Moffat was the one who had the idea to set it in a hotel because of all the just not liking like labyrinthine hotels and whatever.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see writers, I don't want to say milking, but getting inspired by
working their own experiences
by the same thing. So you got this, and then later on, how was it 14, 13, whatever years, you've got the Time Hotel in Series 15 as well. So
interesting. Never thought about that actually. This one's a lot more creepier, of course.
I mean, you're right, Warren. Moffat is like the crack on the wall was a crack in the plaster of his son's bedroom. And he does take a lot of stuff.
I mean, if it works, it works. Whatever.
That's what writers are supposed to do.
Well, yeah, we've already talked about, like I already said, effective shots on the CTV cameras, the Dutch angles happening in the mannequin room. That was a creepy shot. When
those guys are creepy dudes.
Joe's, with the ventriloquist dummies in there. That was gotta look here. That's just like all that stuff.
And when they cut to that long shot and they're all doing that stuff, I'm like, I wonder how they're doing that. Like maybe there are that many dummies and they've got like battery operated or something. But like I'm not sure how they do it.
There's people on the floor moving the dummies.
Okay.
Hydraulics.
It's complicated,
like
No, it's people. Just people doing the marionettes.
That's beautiful.
But I mean, the fact that you've got a whole room full of these guys, like that's a lot of work for one shot.
Yeah.
And effective though. You remember it.
Oh, it's totally effective. Yeah.
Yep. It's not a wash in CG. This is something we talked about with Tortured Children of Earth too. You could have made it worse by having like a whole bunch of needless CG in there. But I feel like this costs money. Well, it costs money nowadays too, but it just feels like it
works.
In 2012, it feels like it costs even more, so like it doesn't feel like there's a lot of CG going on in the 2 episodes that we watched.
No, I mean, there may very well be, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, CG that comes to mind is just the transition from the hotel to the control room or whatever it's meant to be.
Yeah.
To Tron,
Yeah. He loves that staircase, shooting down it, the opening, the first shots of the post credit scene. They're like looking down Krista's not a fan though, apparently.
Well, one of my notes was shooting the staircase was obviously limited. Every establishing shot of it was the same. Had people starting, whether they're going up or down, they're basically all starting from the same spot, going from A or B to the other one. regardless of circumstance or whatever. But it was also said that the hotel shifts around and whatever. So, okay, fine. I can buy that then without griping too greatly.
Yeah. My note was it uses every shining trick in the book for those hallways, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah. There's like that one sequence where the doctor's sort of running around through the hallways, like checking doors, looking for people, and it's kind of Scooby-Doo. It's kind of like, cut there. He's running back and forth. Like all of a sudden, it sort of ends when he sort of runs up to the camera. You only see his feet, and then he gets right down to the floor, to where he finds the glasses, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and the camera is focused on those glasses. So like everything, once the doctor gets there, he's in focus only when he is actually right there on the floor with the glasses, which I thought was kind of cool.
In Time Heist, there's that one corridor that they keep running up and down one direction or the other.
Yeah.
And there's no way they didn't do that here with the same hallway being treated 8 different ways.
So old school Star Trek anyway.
That's old school everything. You look at Star Wars, like the ship of the blockade runner, that is one corridor. That is one corridor, baby. Yep. Yeah, one corridor on the Death Star, just shot in different directions.
Another editing thing I like is when they go into Amy's room and they've got young Amy there, and they cut back and forth. And editing is all by feel. Like people don't understand. They think it's all very precise, and it can be, but most of the time it's by how you feel while you're watching and what the flow is. And with that, they have Matt Smith talking to, young Amy, and then our age Amy or whatever, like current age Amy, and then it jumps back and forth, but it's so fluidly done that you're like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense.
Yeah, that was one of my notes as well, cutting from Karen to Caitlin to Karen.
Yeah. And it works. Absolutely. Like you could screw that up very easily. So
it's like music, man. It's like, like sometimes you don't want to be like right exactly on the beat. Like maybe you want to wait another beat for another thing to happen. And then that's when you sort of cut to it. It feels musical. It feels natural. Like you said, Warren, it just felt like a natural cut between. And then they do a quick little wide shot, and like there's no one else in the room, and it's just the doctor and young Amy there, which I thought was pretty effective too. And yeah, that whole sequence is great.
Where he goes in and says, what else could it be? The doctor does to his room, number 11, which I thought was lovely, a bit much.
Who else could it be?
Who else could it be? And it turns out, I think it's in Time of the Doctor, that it's a crack in the wall, which I thought was kind of a nice way to sort of take it all full circle.
Yeah. Part of me wonders if Moffat actually, he's the kind of writer who he has said in the past, oh wait, there's that thing we did in that episode. I'll just use that then. I'll I feel like, I know what we're going to do. We're going to put this in this episode, and then 3 years later, no, it's totally not. He's just going to remember it. Like, how am I going to get
that's part of the joy of writing is going, hey, I just came up with this brilliant idea that out of thin air, which is probably how he did it. And not alone in that, but.
They're going, all right, that thing we did 2 years ago, we can finally pay it off here. And it gets me out of a jam too. Perfect.
Well, look at the delay in paying off the jacket, no jacket scene in the Angel two-parter.
Oh, which fooled us.
Yep.
Fool me again, Daddy. Or was that out loud?
Fooled at us. Yes, it did. Yeah, it was out loud. Yeah, fooled us like Magna Carta, I tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not quite that bad.
Yeah. I love the blurry POV shots of the Minotaur, and then when we finally sort of get to see the beast a little bit, it's in a room where there's a whole bunch of water like running down, like an aquarium and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
There's like water running basically in front of the Minotaur. We don't get to see him as clearly
like the hairdresser or something. Like
yeah, it's a spa. There we go in the hotel. Yeah, I thought that was really well done.
It did have those like half egg shaped
those old timey
things.
80s I guess because it is an 80s hotel.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't even make that comparison or correlation rather. But you're right. Yeah. That would be it. Although those definitely predate the 80s. But yeah, where the heck was that? I had a note about that. Sorry. Just in general, the use of sound and shadow for the Minotaur, especially early on before you see everything, was very horror-like, very tropey, but very effective.
Yeah.
Even later on in the spa with all the mirrors, you only see parts of the Minotaur at a time. And again, just giving that slow drip of information.
Yeah, horns.
It's only when he's lying down that I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, the horns scraping the ceiling from time to time was also a good way of showing. Yeah,
and not just the horn scraping the ceiling, but the dust, the broken up plaster falling onto the head.
Yeah,
just that extra little touch.
Yep, pure quality that was. Yeah. the death of Rita is very affecting because you really get the sense that like she's a really cool character and she's like figuring stuff out and things. And of course, the Doctor takes an immediate shine to her and, you know, is jokingly saying, "Oh, she's going to be replacing Amy." No, I think maybe we'd like to replace Amy with her, you know. And
Amy, you're fired.
Yep.
And he's going to call me thing. That was hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Comparisons have been made to Astrid Peth and Linda Moss as well. So.
As people who they met. And so, hey, wow, you could be, oh, no, you're dead. Yeah.
And again, to go back to Children of Earth, what's his, Raj, the Doctor in episode 1.
Yeah, that's true. Although he was a traitor from the start, though.
Yep, but that's not how he was set up.
That's true.
I mean, that was the big or what? Not the big reveal. That was a reveal anyway.
Yeah, but you know, the phone conversation over CCTV basically, and then you know, just the sadness is the Doctor sort of doesn't even look. He just holds his sonic up and turns the cameras off, so he doesn't see her getting mauled by this Minotaur.
Or even before she gets mauled, just Rita, like the Doctor says something, and Rita just nods because she knows she's on. That he can see her on the camera. Yeah. Like she doesn't have to say anything into the phone. She just nods.
Yep. Really well done scene.
Yeah. Super, super subtle. Loved it.
Subtle Doctor.
Subtle.
Remember
what are you
those
talking
days?
about? What my final note, I have other ones, but the last one I wrote was, I miss Doctor Who being something other than hand-waving. Because you got 5 minutes after the Minotaur where there's just a bunch of good feelings talk, which is complicated and interesting.
Yeah. Character pieces. It's funny how, you know, everyone says, "Oh, RTD's great at the character stuff, and Moffat's always good at the plot stuff." And they, no, Moffat's very good at the character stuff too. Thank you very much. There's a lot of that.
It's just different. It's just differently done.
It is differently done. Yeah, exactly.
Two takes, same approach, or whatever. No, I mean, look at like stuff that we're not going to talk about for Nick Hurran. Like, I think of like. Rory's dad in Series 7, for example.
Yeah.
Or even something that we will talk about next time, the divorce stuff in Asylum of the Daleks. Like, there's some really good relationship and family and person stuff.
I felt depressed they're getting divorced, so he's doing something right.
Yep. Because it was weird. I remember at the time actually thinking like, so what, they're leaving? Like, I didn't really... And I'm not even sure this time I sort of like grasped, like, where is the moment they realize that you have to go now? Like, they just sort of like, they all accept it without there being a scene where they say, you have to leave now. It's all very subtly played.
Do you remember, either of you, when their presence in the Christmas special was announced? Like, is that something we knew at this point, or was that yet to be known? I don't recall.
Do not remember.
I don't know. Oh boy, that's a good question.
Because I mean, Doctor Widow Wardrobe, they are seen just at the end when the Doctor goes over for Christmas dinner, so it's not like they're in it throughout. But...
Yeah, in the one scene that is so great that it makes me forget every single time I watch that episode that actually it's a bad episode with a superb ending, and every time I go into, oh no, this is bad. Just get to the great ending again. That's great.
Massive waste of Bill Bailey.
Oh boy. Thankfully, Nick Hurran didn't direct. Sorry, Farron Blackburn. He directed that.
Yes, he did.
Any further comments on the God Complex, though?
I saw a few more notes, but Warren, feel free.
My only other thing is I love the shot where, there's two different things. Matt Smith is raging in the background out of focus because he's so mad that everybody's dying. Actually,
just knocking all the stuff off the table or whatever.
I always love an out of focus character thing where the character's in front are like, oh, this is not good. And somebody else is in the back out of focus, so he's so mad you can't even see him.
And then Amy's saying, he'll just let him talk it out or let him riff. Just hide all your expensive stuff.
Also, I have a note that says, of course, Howie the Incel is a podcaster. What a surprise.
Blogger. He's a blogger.
Sure, but he's talking into a microphone and saying a bunch of nonsense, so I call that a right-wing podcaster.
And the Doctor says that's quite enough of that and turns him off.
I agreed. I'm like, yes, you should be around. Matt Smith, could you travel to 2025 and get rid of the manosphere while you're at it? And there was one other thing in here that I cannot find. All right, never mind. Oh, no, it's that I can't remember his name, the coward guy who's... from the Coward Planet. Thank you.
Gibbous, yeah.
And he's giving the Doctor a hard time. And I'm like, you know what? He's right. Yep. He's got a point.
He does, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like David Williams' performance in that, actually. He's a weird little guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my note for him was David Williams' smarminess, his dispositions in general. He's just a snarky asshat.
Yeah, but also a box of kittens, and he just gets a nice.
Gets a little smile when the doctor says, "Think of a basket of kittens," and then when Howie's in the chair at the front desk, and he says, "Well, maybe I overpowered you," he just gets this little half smirk on his face.
Yeah,
and just lots of like, despite the makeup and prosthetics and all that kind of stuff, Williams's face is still so expressive, and just fantastic performance for sure.
Yeah. You said you had a lot more notes on this one than you did the previous one, Chris.
I had some more. Yep.
Let's roll through them. What we got?
For sure. The doctor eats an apple, despite hating them in the 11th hour. So maybe he got to like them. I don't know, but maybe somebody screwed up. That seems like the kind of thing, and I didn't look at the script or anything, assuming it's even available. I didn't look at the script to see if it's in the script or not, but that seems like the kind of thing that Matt Smith would just do.
Yeah,
he just needs to do something.
Yeah. Listen, it's been a couple hundred years for him. You know, I feel like he's probably
not by that point. When did the big gap happen?
Well, Impossible Astronaut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Beginning of the season.
Was the start of that season? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the doctor is talking to Joe in the bar, the camera's at a kind of a Dutch angle for the doctor, but not for Joe.
Yeah,
which I just thought was an interesting choice to do it that way.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that too, actually, when I was writing Dutch angles, or as my autocorrect turned it to Dutch Niles. No idea why.
The well-known Dutch Nile, yes.
Yeah, Dutch Nile virus. Yeah, I noticed that. Like, wait a second, why is it not a skew for the doc? Maybe because the doctor's on the level, so to speak, and Joe's a little bit crazy. Mm-hmm. That could be it, perhaps. Yeah.
Loser in Klingon is Konos, the name of the Klingon homeworld, or at least the same spelling.
as the ladies are laughing at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I looked that up. I just thought I should.
I figured you probably did.
The CG for the ropes falling off of Joe was ropey.
2012 CG. I thought that too. It looked a little fake.
That was a bit much, yeah.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? CG, man.
It's Cinema 4D. Not that they use that, but...
Yeah.
The shot of Joe tearing the tape over his mouth off turns into a camera spin /cut.
Oh, yeah.
Which look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. All the shots in the spa with the reflections of water on the doctor and the Minotaur just looked great, especially with the low lights. Just beautiful, beautiful shots. And this is all pre-HD. No, it is HD. Never mind.
It is HD. Yeah,
scratch that.
That's right.
Matt Smith doing what Matt Smith does best. Playing around his weird facial expressions, gargling the tea,
which makes no sense, but still.
When Gibbous says that Howie overpowered him, he just has this look of disgust on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like I mentioned Williams's facial emoting, and Smith just, I mean, that's where Smith shines. It's just his physicality in general.
Mm-hmm. And just where he's gargling, and he almost looks like he's a kid who got caught doing something.
Yeah. I don't know how they found Matt Smith, man. I tell you, we lucked out. When I think of like day one, third person in, as you know, like bless his agent. It wasn't Wendy Padbury at the time, but bless the agent for saying, yeah, I think you'd totally be the doctor. You're only 26, but you could totally nail this. Like, and he does. You know,
he is my favorite new doctor. So
he's amazing. He really is amazing. He just like it just feels like it comes naturally to him. This role, you know.
Mm-hmm. He was born for it.
He really was. The thing is, he didn't realize it. I think we did, though, immediately once we saw him on Confidential, for crying out loud. You know, when they announced him, I think this is a weird dude, and he's going to be a great doctor because of it. You know.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if I thought he was going to be a great doctor, but I definitely thought he was a weird dude.
Yeah.
I know, like, the thing is, for certain doctors, it takes a while for me to go, okay, this guy is the doctor, right? And with him, He walks out of the TARDIS, and that's the Doctor.
The Apple scene at the start of the 11th hour.
Just hanging out with little Amy. Like you're just completely convinced right at the top. It took a while with Capaldi for me. It took a little bit of time for like maybe the first episode for Jodie Whittaker.
Right.
But I guess probably part of what was shooty is that we had him for a little bit of the previous show. So I kind of slid into it with the Christmas special.
Yeah, they really faded in Gatwa as opposed to just saying, look at this, it's a new Doctor. Yeah.
He's pretty doctory right off the jump, though, where he's talking to the cop and I can't remember the name, the Goblin one.
Yeah, in the Disney mandated scene, where he talks to the cop. Yeah.
But it does work. Like, so that was like, okay, this guy's a doctor. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The long shot of, so after everyone else has been taken care of, and it's just Gibbous and the three regulars. The long shot of them sitting at tables, all on the one side of the table.
Yeah.
One or like Arthur and Karen together, and then Gibbous and the Doctor at separate tables. It looked good.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I know
just
the one.
Nice framing, and just it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I had was right at the end, the crane camera pulls up and away, and Smith just looks around. Well, he's all alone.
I know. Tragic shot, really. Like, he's just so sad. This poor, sad little boy who's 1,000 years old, yet he's just lost his friends. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I liked watching these two so much that I skipped ahead to Sound of the Daleks, so I'm going to watch it again to get notes for when we do it.
Oh, wow.
I just feel like more Moffat, but it was very jarring to go from that cool ending where he's like, yeah, here's a car and a house and all the rest of it, and then they're getting divorced because I've skipped over a couple scenes.
Sure. But speaking of Matt Smith isms, when he gives Rory the keys to the car, Rory's like, "That's my favorite car. How'd you know that's my favorite car?" And Matt Smith is like, "Because you talked to me one day and you said that was your favorite car."
Yeah,
like just the loving mocking was just
yeah. Also, I love Rory's little speech where he's like, "She's not gonna let me keep it. I'm prepared to take that risk."
Yeah.
She'll say it's too extravagant or whatever. Yeah,
Jaguar E-Type for what it's worth. But of course, they can't mention that on the show because many other classic sports cars are available, of course.
Sure,
for the BBC. Yeah. Well, those are two great episodes, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and more to come.
More to come. Yeah,
I was very happy when Nick Hurran was selected because there's none of his stories that I don't adore.
No,
Angels Take Manhattan maybe a little less than the rest.
It's a bit of a speed bump Angel wise, but still not bad.
I look forward to it. I look forward to watching that one again. I haven't seen that one in a while, and I feel like it's been
forever, and I really look for just like we've all really positively reappraised the Jodie Whittaker era.
Yep.
When we did Jimmy Magnus Stone, same thing for 7A in general, because everything for those 5 episodes was supposed to be big and cinematic and sweeping, and so I'm looking forward to just focusing on the visuals and the direction and the stuff like that for Hurran.
Yeah, without all the other bells and whistles.
And it was big for the BBC, but it wasn't big for today, and I kind of like that.
make Doctor Who anonymous again. Basically, he's got to like.
No, I mean, Silent Daleks does kind of put the
literally, actually, quite literally, it does.
But as far as having big, like huge, the Dalek Parliament and all that stuff, right? But
yeah.
I know,
but I mean, as far as the bigness goes, I'd still say Town Without Mercy takes the cake there, just because they went to the set where all the Leone films were shot and whatnot. So
usually building them here, that's for damn sure. They tried that in 1966.
Great effect. There's nothing wrong with gunfighters.
Built them in Edmonton, hey? Okay.
Yeah. Little known fact: shot in Edmonton.
The Brad Pitt movie was though. Anyway, that's it for this one. Next week, your homework, hopefully it doesn't feel like homework, is Asylum of the Daleks and the Angels Take Manhattan. The bookend to Series 7A, what fans are calling it. Both directed by Nick Hurran, and that's what we'll be talking about on the next Miniscope. Do join us for that. In the meantime, and in between time, I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.